Bonjour les Year 6. This is Mr. Kevin talking to you for your second lesson about Dans ma ville. First of all, please make sure you all take your books with you and that you write today's date and today's title. Once this is done, you can have a look at the little starter over here where you need to match up the expressions in your notebook. We have number 1, il y a. Numéro 2, c'est. Numéro 3, parce que. Numéro 4, est. Numéro 5, car. Numéro 6, mais. Et numéro 7, et. Now let's have a look. You have possible translations just next to, in the box next to it. Pause the video, try to match them up properly in your book, writing the full words in French and in English. And once you are done with the exercise, press the play button again. Now that you are done, let's have a look at the translation of those words. Numéro 1, il y a means there is. Numéro 2, c'est means it is. Numéro 3, parce que is because. Numéro 4, est is. Numéro 5, car is because as well. Both of them are synonyms, equivalent. You can use them anytime. Numéro 6, mais means but. Et numéro 7, et means and. So you should have the following. I hope you have everything correct. Make sure you have everything ticked off in your book with your purple pen if you are correct, and that you take the correction with your purple pens if you had something wrong. Now let's have a look. Today we're going to try to describe what there is in your town more precisely, trying to remember at least 5 places in town, including il y a to describe your town, and giving more details about your town, giving extra information about the different places in town. Now let's try to remember from last week. Number 1, 2, 3, until number 10. Pause the video and try to say those words out loud in the first place. Once you're done saying those words, try to respell them properly without looking at your previous lesson, and after that we will have a look into this. Pause the video and do this now. Okay, so now that you paused the video, let's have a look at what those are. Numéro 1 was le café. Un café. Numéro 2, un cinéma. Numéro 3, un marché. Numéro 4, un musée. Numéro 5, un hôtel. Numéro 6, un hôpital. Numéro 7, un jardin. Un parc. You could say both, depending if it's a garden or a park. Un jardin or un parc. Numéro 8, un stade. Un stade de foot, un stade de cricket, un stade de hockey. It depends on the sport. Numéro 9, un supermarché. Et numéro 10, un château. Le café, le cinéma, le marché, le musée, l'hôtel, l'hôpital, le parc, le stade, le supermarché et le château. Can you check your spellings now with your purple pen and take full corrections of whatever you had wrong? I hope you had 10 correct, but if you made a couple of mistakes, it's fine. Do not worry. If you still get them wrong, please make sure that you copy them 3 times in your book so you are getting your spellings completely correct for the assessments that we will have in the future. Now that you're ready, let's carry on. Okay, we've got a few more over here, but those ones are feminine, okay? Same thing. First, you pause the video, you say the words out loud, you try to spell them, and after that, We'll do a correction together. So now pause the video and say those words. Okay, so now that you said it, let's take the correction. Make sure you have your purple pen to take full correction of your spellings as well. Numéro 1 was la boulangerie. La boulangerie. Numéro 2, la boucherie. La boucherie. Numéro 3, l'église. L'église. Numéro 4, la poste. La poste. Numéro 5, la banque. Numéro 6, la gare. Numéro 7, la piscine. Et numéro 8, la bibliothèque. La bibliothèque. Oh, I forgot something over here. How do we say the mosque again? Of course we say la mosquée. La mosquée. Okay, now that you have all the correction, you can carry on to the next slide. Okay, let's have a look over here at those sentences. And while I read them, I would like you to tell me what are the expressions in green, in blue, and in purple. What do they mean? Okay, let's have a look. Dans ma ville, il y a un supermarché qui s'appelle Dubai Mall. Dans ma ville, il y a un cinéma, le Vox, qui est très grand. Finally, dans ma ville, il y a un hôtel qui s'appelle l'Atlantis et qui est magnifique. Now let's try to have a look. In that first bit over here, we've got qui s'appelle, and qui s'appelle, we know it, we know the word appelle in je m'appelle. So did we guess what it means? It means which is called. So there's a supermarket, or in this case it could have been a mall, but we haven't seen the word for mall. So a mall which is called the Dubai Mall. Let's have a look at the second sentence. We had qui est, and we had the word très. Okay, so le cinéma, le Vox, qui est, which is, and très grand, très, insist on grand, means it's very, very big. So knowing that très grand means very big, how would I say very small? Of course, I would say très petit. Now that we know all those words, let's have a look if you can actually translate the following. Dans ma ville, il y a un hôtel qui s'appelle l'Atlantis et qui est magnifique. We've got another word over here, the word est, but normally we should know it. Can you try and translate it? Yes, it means in my town there's a hotel which is called the Atlantis and which is magnificent. Okay, try to remember those structures in green, in blue, in purple, and in red, and write their meaning in your book because you will need it for our main activity which follows right now. Once you're done noting this, you can unpause the video and then carry on with the lesson. Qui s'appelle means which is called, qui est, which is, and très is very. And there you go. Now, the aim of today's lesson is to build more complex sentences, at least 4 of them that are going to need to be in your books. You need to describe what is in your city, including the following. Dans ma ville, which is in my town. Il y a, there is. Qui s'appelle, which is called. Qui est, which is. Petit, grand, magnifique. Those are examples of adjectives you could use. And the words et and aussi. Okay, be careful, I put ticks next to it because after that you're gonna have to self-assess yourselves and see how many ticks you have done. Okay, I'll give you an example. Dans ma ville, il y a un hôtel qui s'appelle l'Atlantis et qui est magnifique. In my town, there's a hotel called the Atlantis, which is magnificent. Okay? If you want to challenge yourself, you can have a look at the yellow box, adding a negative sentence with il n'y a pas de. There is not. Okay? And also, if it's still too easy for you, you can always give opinions using j'aime or je n'aime pas and try to justify them with parce que. That should take you about 15 minutes and all of you should have at least 4 different sentences. Okay? I'll let you pause the video and after that you come back over here because we're going to try to self-assess ourselves. Okay? Pause the video now. Okay. So now that you that you finished your sentences, have a look over here with your purple pen and try to see if you have put dans ma ville, il y a, qui s'appelle, qui est, at least a few adjectives, and the word est. You should have at least 6 ticks. Could you write underneath what you have done well, what you have included with your purple pen, and what you could have added to make your work better? Once this is done, you'll almost be done with the lesson. You'll just need to say au revoir and make sure that your work looks impeccable in your books. So to self-assess your work, one last time, you need to make sure you have included the following at least once, that you write yourself a what went well and an EDI. I will see you all with your books absolutely completed and a lot of purple pen to see your self-assessment next week when I see you all. Au revoir.